Welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks. I'm Carl Ayers.
I am Tiana Ibrahimovic.
And I am Cicely Daniels.
Fashion Reverie takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie Talks are segments based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So remember, if you want more information about the segments, go to fashionreverie.com.
And we begin every episode with our fashion news alerts. And our fashion news alerts are ripped from the headlines on fashionreverie.com. So this week we are starting with you, Tiana.
Oh, yes. I am bringing you a news alert related to Mother Monster, Lady Gaga. So I am sure you're in fashion. You've heard about the movie coming up, House of Gucci. It's supposed to come out end of this month. And everybody's really excited because, first of all, Lady Gaga seems like her performance seems super explosive, where she portrays Patrizia Reggiani, who actually hired a hitman to kill her husband Maurizio Gucci, and spent about 20 years in prison for it. So she is on the cover of British Vogue, and so she shared a little bit about the whole process of filming and how she felt as Patrizia. I mean, from the trailer, she seems to be doing a great job with the accent and everything. She spent over 3 years preparing, and a big portion of it speaking in Italian accent. So
wow,
it's quite interesting. Yeah. I mean, it seems like she's really dedicated to the role. So everyone in the fashion world is very excited to see her, except Patrizia Reggiani herself.
that is hilarious.
Yes, she had she had to comment that she's not all that happy with Lady Gaga, because Lady Gaga never reached out to her to, ask her, about her side of the story, how should she portray her, et cetera, et cetera. But Lady Gaga, went, unusual route and decided not to reach out to Patrizia, and sort of be an observer and take a journalistic view, so take an objective view, and not talk to her. So what do you guys think about it? Are you excited about the movie? And what do you think about Lady Gaga not speaking to Patrizia?
I think it's really interesting. As an actress, like a lot of times, if you can meet your source, you can meet the inspiration is key.
You're a great source to actually ask,
Exactly.
Because sometimes the person is no longer alive, and you just or you might have video, or you might have nothing, and you're trying to still create something that's realistic. But at the same time, I do understand, everyone wants to make it their own. I will say a 3-year investment in creating a character is not short. That is a lot of, I'm not saying if she was full method, living all day, every day as a character, but, at least, giving that kind of focus, that kind of time, speaking Italian, learning accent, all of those things, trying to.
You spent 9 months. Speaking in
exactly, that's a lot. That 9 months is a lot. Look, I'm learning Italian, and I cannot speak. First of all, I cannot speak Italian well yet, and to have an accent for 9 months just preparing for a character, that's intense. That is real immersion.
Those are different things. Learning a language, speaking in accent, and actually speaking to someone about who they are and how they, see the situation. So. Those are 3 completely separate things, in my opinion.
So my thing is, number one, I can't wait to see the movie. I have my hands on the book, so I want to read the book before I see the movie.
Of course you do.
you see books. But of course, I'm a big fashion nerd, fashion academic, excuse me. But I'm really excited to see this movie. And it's funny that uh, that Lady Gaga did not get to talk with the inspiration for her role. But with Patricia, she's to me a funny character anyway because you remember when she was in jail, she had the opportunity to be released early, but she would be released into a work release program, and she famously said, "I've never worked a day in my life. I don't intend to start now." So instead of getting out of jail early on work release, she did her full bid so that she did not have to work. It is stunning. It is
In her
hilarious.
defense, if someone was playing me in anything, I'd want them to come and speak to me.
Yes, yeah, true. But I definitely would. I agree. But on another note, what I'm surprised at is that last week Gucci had their Love Parade fashion show in Hollywood. And there were some stars. There was like Macaulay Culkin and Jared Leto and Jeremy Pope. They all walked in the show, but Lady Gaga did not make an appearance. I understand that the book and the movie are separate from the brand and the show, but this would have been a great marketing possibility or event to help boost interest. It doesn't need boosting, but boost interest even more in the movie. But back to the covers. Uh, so she covered not only British Vogue but also Italian Vogue, shot by Stephen Meisel. The first time two Vogues or those two Vogues have had the same person on the cover at the same time. Just a little fashion editorial publishing note. So it's all Lady Gaga, it's all Gucci, it's all great, and I can't wait to see the movie. That's it.
I
Me
mean,
too. I'm very excited.
well, exciting movies are, like this is starting to be like the season. And there are a lot of people in the world that are excited about Netflix new Western, The Harder They Fall. And this is not like a lot of Westerns because it is very stylized and it's about rival gangs.
Wait, is Western
It's
cowboy
a Western, but it's about
Yes, it's a
black
cowboy movie.
cowboys.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is so
Wait,
cool.
so y'all haven't seen
Grandpa loved cowboy movies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's people are like people were hyped at the get. Like people,
Yes.
like at just the beginning announcement of it. But
Yes.
that is
Me.
it doesn't stop there, people. Okay. So the movie is coming out, but there is going to be a new capsule collaboration between Netflix and Balmain. And that is it's number one, if you go check it out, it is stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Inspired
Yes, of course.
inspired by the
Look
film.
at that. Look at that.
I mean, like everything. Just come on now. It's gorgeous.
Actually, it's not typical Balmain at all.
I know,
No.
right? Well,
No.
but it's glory. I mean, like, and I'm not typically like Western inspired, and I'm like, what? And so anyway, so so apparently, the Balmain creative director Olivier Rousteing designed a few of the looks that are going to be on the screen, and those were integrated into the costumes that were created by the movie's costume designer Antoinette Massam. And but this collection, so that is like part of the connection to Balmain for this film, and it is like I said, it is so exciting. It is, I think, gorgeous.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's just gorgeous. What, say again?
Do we know what the movie is about?
Wait,
Well,
so
the
y'all have
rival
not
gangs,
seen the
yeah.
movie?
We have to watch the movie, but I mean, I know that there's the rival gang, like, like gangs
Wait.
of cowboys. So, like,
Okay.
I'm sure there's I'm sure it's like edgy, sexy,
All right.
know.
So,
I'm just
so
wondering
I'm
if
the only one who's seen it
Netflix.
so far.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it yet.
I
You
saw
can
it.
see it
Oh,
now?
I saw the screener. Oh, yes.
Oh.
It's out. It's on Netflix. Yes. Yes.
Watch
gotta
it.
see
I'm
it.
only wondering because Netflix has gotten their fingers into everything. If they will be
Mhm.
broadcasting next, like space shuttle taking off,
Probably.
because
Netflix
or
is
maybe
everything.
like partnering with Elon or Amazon.
That sounds like something they would do. But wait, hold on. I think they were already like live streaming or streaming something with Madonna also. Yeah, Netflix has definitely got their hands into everything, including what Olivia now says is their first luxury collaboration. Because they've done, I think, fashion collaborations with shows and movies on the Netflix. Well, Netflix has done collaborations before, but Balmain is their first time doing it with a luxury brand. So that is very interesting. There are 16 pieces
Gorgeous.
from
There is a jacket I'm coveting for my life, like a full fringe, like there's like a full fringe all around it.
Yes.
There are bags. Like it is really, I think it's really hot. So
yes, I want the men's fringe jacket as well. There's the jacket, there's the pants, there's even a bandana. Like I'm ready to go shopping with the money that I don't have.
I know, right?
I'll go with the regular collection.
Oh, okay.
The regular collection is not, but the stuff this collection it marries well into the Balmain aesthetic. It doesn't look like something very different from Balmain. It's just for this movie, and I encourage everyone to go check out the movie. It is not your typical Western, and it's a black West. It's a Western with a black cast. That's what it is. It's not like just about
Are
black
there
people
accessories?
struggle. There are
On
some
the
accessories.
collection,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. So
Because
it's
I'm
in the
waiting for
stores
like
now.
a cowboy hat, maybe something like that.
No, there's no hat. There's just, like
There's
this
bags.
little like bag. There's bags. It's like this little card
Cute
holder
bags.
necklace thing, and then
So
there's a
cute.
bandana. But you're gonna like the tops, the skirts, the jackets, the shirts. You're gonna like it, Tiana. Trust me.
And so everyone knows it is available right now in stores.
All right, let's go shopping.
And if anyone knows that my birthday is coming up next week, put that out there. Okay.
Actually, the birthday is this month, so.
That's right. It's time to start preparing for Christmas also. Now, speaking of shopping, all right? Speaking of shopping and collaborations, we talk about this brand. I talk about this brand a lot because I am a fan. I am a customer of Telfar. So Telfar has collaborated with Converse, with Uggs, with White Castle. Telfar Clemens has also started Telfar TV, a whole like digital network for himself. But his latest collaboration is with the brand Moose Knuckles. Now, for those who don't know what Moose Knuckles are, think of everyone talks about a woman's camel toe. Moose Knuckles are the men's version. That's so if you look at the emblem of Moose Knuckles, you'll make that connection. But with the brand, with
Can
this
you
collaboration,
repeat that word again?
Moose Knuckles.
Like moose, like the animal?
Yes, and then knuckles like your fingers. Yes, Moose Knuckles. Yeah,
Moose
look,
Knuckles.
I don't make the news. I just
Can you
report
show
it.
us a sample? I'm joking.
No, so
Joking.
so
Not that kind of a show.
that's Fashion Reverie After Dark.
Fans only.
But this collaboration is I believe there are 22 pieces, and for me it takes me back to the 90s. It looks there are some we call them puffer bombers, and then there are quilted coats. There are accessories like, of course, the bags. There's the puffer bag. There's this new quilted jigsaw puzzle logo pattern for the bag. It looks incredible. This is the next step for his popular shopping bags. They even have headbands, and there's this mock neck, this white cream mock neck sweater that I want. You see me, I'm always going shopping. Me and Cicely, we're the shopaholics here.
Oh my God,
But
always,
there are 22
always.
pieces. They're already in stores. They're on Essence.com, SSENCE, Essence, the shopping website, not Essence as in Essence magazine. So they're available in Nordstrom's, in Europe, America, and Canada. So you can go shopping for it now and pick me up a little something,
Here's the question, Carl. Do you have a contact? Because the bags are sold out on their website.
Yeah, I'll work on that. All right. So full disclosure, some of my friends, we are in the chat group, and they've actually been to the Nordstrom store, and saw them. Not the one in New York. I think there was one in Chicago that they went to. But yeah, it's always sold out. So go to essence.com and see if you can get it there. Yeah, that's all the advice I can give you. But I'll try to back channel and see if I can, contact someone at the brand and get 1, 2, or 3 of the bags.
From this whole story or news alert, what I will remember is Moose Knuckles.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you
All
for
right.
teaching me a new
Well,
word.
we did all learn something. We did not thank you, Carl, because we all needed to learn.
I'm the
So you gotta
academic. I'm here
know.
to I'm here to advise. So viewers, that's it. That's enough. That's enough talking about all this. So if you want to read more about our fashion news alerts from our fashion news segments, head over to fashionreverie.com.
So everyone has just gotten out of Halloween. And I know we have Thanksgiving next, but they've already told us there's some kind of disruption in the chain. So you
Yeah.
probably have loved ones, including men, who you need a gift for, or women, depending on their fashion. Okay.
Yes.
But I am thrilled, as always, to talk to my co-host and brilliant associate editor, Carl Ayers, because he is going to give us the rundown, as he always does, about what is going on that is exciting and interesting in fall 2021 watches. And
Yep.
I don't know a lot about watches, so I'm totally excited. Hey, Carl.
Hey, as always, it's always fun talking fashion with you. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about these men's watches. So I today did not wear a watch because I didn't want to play favorites.
Mm. How
Because
many watches do you own, Carl?
I think I have between 10 and 12
Okay.
of various designs and styles and price ranges. So they're not, I don't have any of these on this list yet. Yeah, I'm working on it though. But yeah, I have a decent watch collection. It started with my grandfather. He, um, he was an old school gentleman. Um, he from his suiting, his shoes, his watches, everything had to be impeccable. So I still have my very first watch is actually one of his old watches. So that's
Mm.
kind of what got me started on the way to collecting or buying. And that's what happens with a lot of guys. We absorb this sense of love for horology from our fathers and our grandfathers. So yeah, I'm here with it. So this watch story that article that I wrote is part of our men's fall article segment because this episode of Fashion Reverie Talks is dedicated to menswear, to fall
Yes.
menswear. Yeah, thank you. Right?
Yes,
The guys, can
because
we get a
men,
little bit of love?
first of all, we have to look at y'all all the time. So, you know.
Thank you. And we like to look good and feel good so we can do good. Uh,
Mhm.
so so the background for this story for number one, I was talking with some of our family members. We were talking about watches. Actually, my niece, and she had me like looking at watches for her, but that turned into a bigger conversation about watches. And so I started researching, and I was like, yeah, we should do a story about men's watches. And when I thought of it, a few days later, we hit Drake, the music artist and actor Drake, for his birthday. He bought himself a $5.5 million Richard Mille watch.
Mm.
5.5, 5.5
Wow.
million is, a small little birthday gift for himself.
Mhm.
Something slight. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna need to cut off a lot of those zeros for
Okay.
me to
Thank
get it.
you. Like a lot. Like ever. Like
Yes,
even if I'm a billionaire, I can't. I can't.
exactly.
But
I'm not. I can't see it. But what I have done is assembled a list of watches for our viewers and for our readers that are in a range of prices. Some are more aspirational, and the majority are affordable. So you know what? Let's hop into it. I wanted to start with this brand, Tally and Twine, made by founded by Randy Williams. So this watch, it is. I want to go with a simple gold watch for the guys. I want to start with that. This watch it doesn't have a lot on the dial. There are two extra, additional dials for the date and time, but it does not have a lot of accoutrement. There's no big diamonds. There's no big numbering on the dial. Actually, on the dial, you only see the number seven. And the reason that Randy has put the number seven on the watch is because it represents the 7 days of the week. It represents being complete and getting your work done, getting your stuff done. So I really liked the
cool.
inspiration behind that watch. I like
Yeah,
behind the
I
design.
like
I,
that.
I love the watch brand itself. The watches range from $135 to $235, and you can even get a couples set where it's a men's and a women's watch for $410. So he's thought about it all. it's a wonderful, wonderful brand. It's a relatively young brand. I think they were founded in 2014, I believe. So they're still on the up and up. Wonderful black owned company, wonderful designs, and I want one, and I think I'm gonna go for that gold one. So that's my beginning offering for the men's watches.
I love that watch because it is so classic and
Yes,
sophisticated. Obviously, it's still giving you like a neutral, so you could wear it like pretty much with whatever.
yes,
Um, and but it still has that like the seven, like it still has like a sense of like style, like uniqueness, which I
yes,
also think is
yes,
really cool.
yes. For this next watch, I went with the company Bucherer. Bucherer is an old school Swiss watch company. They've been around for almost 150 years. Uh, they're not just watchmakers, but they are watch innovators. They have invented some mechanisms within watches that other brands have used, and they have some things that are still proprietary for themselves. This watch itself this is their $1,850 Adamavi watch.
Mm. Mm.
That's the starting point.
Okay.
$1,850. It's good though.
Yeah.
It's a great brand, but it's a good watch. This is when you start getting into serious collecting, you can start with a book of that. This
Mhm.
dial is a white dial with numbers and animal skin band. Simple, statemently. This could be your everyday businessman watch. There's nothing wrong with this. This is
Yeah.
a good to go.
No, I again, that is a very like classics. It's very sharp looking, like you know what I mean,
Yes.
but still like gives you that focus, with the black with the white
Yeah.
color facing. I
But
like it.
and also Bucherer is not just a watchmaker, they're also a watch retailer. So they bought the Tourneau brand, and Tourneau is one of the hugest, largest worldwide watch retailers. They recently had an event here in New York City where we got to see the full range of their collection, not just Bucherer collection, but the Rolexes, the Audemars Piguets, everything that they have in their three-level store. I think they even have a bar upstairs. It was an amazing event. We saw
Yes.
some amazing, amazing watches, but they also create jewelry as well. So men's watches, women's watches, fine jewelry. Bucherer is your brand to go. And I'm glad that I'm pronouncing it right. Bucherer.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. And so for our third selection is the brand called Carpenter. Carpenter is a Brooklyn-based company, uh, but what makes them so distinct is that they limit the number of pieces for each design. They limit it to 250 pieces. So while anyone in the world, virtually anyone in the world, could have like a Rolex because they make who knows how many Rolexes. Carpenter for each one, they make only 250. So this, I went with it. We started with a simple gold, with an all gold. I wanted to end with an all silver, simple
Mhm.
a metal bracelet, silver face, silver dial. It is just, it is so like New York. It's not flashy because New York can be flashy, but this one is
Mhm.
not flashy. It is
No.
like I'm down with it. This is my this can be a go-to watch where you can wear with anything, whether you're going on date night, you're running errands, you're going to the office. It's Carpenter Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, so I got to shout that out.
I
Um,
think it's stunning, very elegant. Again, it gives you that elegance, like kind of understated elegance, like someone who doesn't want to feel flashy, but if you took a second to look at their watch, I'm
yeah,
sure you would, people would comment on it and notice it at the same time,
yes.
you know.
And these watches they start at 895, so that's not bad. That is a very good price for a decent, well-made, well-manufactured watch. So I
Very.
love it.
Well, for those of you who maybe are already watch collectors, or maybe you're just beginning to, think about what kind of watch you would want to invest in, I think that all of these are really wonderful choices. And if not these particular watches, these companies, these designers will probably have something that would be of interest to you. And there are other
Yes.
watchmakers that are described in the article. So you know
Yes.
where you got to go. You go to Fashion Reverie, find out about
Yeah.
all of the different brands, and then go check it out. And for those ladies who our ladies or men, whoever are looking for those gifts, because gifts, I'm telling you, they said to start. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I've ever bought my husband like a really nice watch, like
See?
a really like
See?
good one. And I was like, maybe that's a good present. So
Yes.
I think that they would make excellent gifts too. So
Yes,
thank you, Carl.
definitely. Gifting, and I do know some women who prefer chunkier watches, so they do wear men's watches. So go right
Right.
ahead, go look on the website. There,
And
like I
some
said,
of them also they make ladies watches, you know, so you
yes,
can check out the
exactly.
whole,
All
check
these
out all
brands.
of the various
Yes,
styles.
that's right. Have fun, and please tell us what you think. If there are certain watches that you like, certain watches that you think should have made the list, let us know. We can include them next time.
All right, guys, we have a special segment for you with our editor-in-chief, William Gooch. Hi, William.
Hey, Tiana, my princess, how are you?
I am well, but it is getting colder. That fall season is in full force.
And
Not
as
super
you see, I
happy
have a
about
coat on in my space that we're recording,
it. Yes,
but
I
not because of
noticed.
cold, for another reason.
How fitting for our segment where we will be discussing the coat trends of 2021. So, who would be a better person to talk about men's fashion than William Gooch, editor-in-chief of Fashion Reverie? You shared some great suggestions with our readers and now with our viewers. Often, you kind of complain a little bit that there's no enough men's fashion coverage everywhere. So you always try to balance it out in Fashion Reverie. So tell us a bit about your article in this segment.
Well, you know, if you live in New York City, as we all do, the temperatures have really dropped. And, you know, interestingly, my landlord just turned the heat on in the building.
My heat was turned on yesterday.
It was kind of cool in here. Now it's a little bit too hot. So I'm so glad this segment is not long because I need to take this coat off. But I'm wearing this coat for a reason, and we'll get to that in a moment. But you know, we try to cover all aspects of fashion or Fashion Reverie: women's wear, accessories, men's wear, fashion films, you name it, we do it all. We are the go-to site for all things fashion. And we kind of come up with these kind of style guides for accessories, coats, clothing, jewelry, handbags. We kind of look at a couple of things. And one of the things we want to look at is we want to give our readers a range, and we want to talk about brands that they're not aware of. And we try to also talk about different price points, price points that we know most people can afford, and price points that are aspirational. So I am wearing this coat. I would get up and model it, but then I would get out of the frame. But this coat is a new brand I didn't know anything about called Bugatti. And I'm going to spell it Bucatchi. And they're based out of Canada, founded in 1980 in Montreal. And they pride themselves on really
It's been around for a while, this brand.
They've been around for a while. You can buy them in Nordstrom. So this is in Nordstrom.
And I trust Canadians with cold.
Of course. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head, Tiana. Yeah. But this coat is a great navy wool three-quarter coat that combines a lot of different fabrics with this coat. You know, it's almost like a neoprene. And then if you can look at the inside, I'm kind of showing that, the inside lining, which is a plaid wool. It's a great coat, classic coat, but it's reasonably priced, about $399. But the reason this coat is so wonderful is I'm originally from North Carolina. And, you know, it doesn't
You must be freezing.
I know you can hear my accent. But you know, in New York City, we need a heavy coat because it gets really cold here. But in North Carolina and in some other states, you need a coat, but a coat that's not so heavy because it may not get into the low teens, in the 20s. It may not get any colder than the 30s. I'll tell you one quick story. I was home for the holidays in North Carolina, and my cousin said to me, she said, why do you always come in here with such a big, heavy coat on? You know it doesn't get that cold down here. Well, actually, can't because I would show it off the coat. But this is a great transitional coat from fall into if you're in a really cold climate to where the weather gets really cold. But if you're not in a climate where it gets really cold, this is a great transitional coat that will keep you warm, but it's not too heavy. So we just found out about this brand at Fashion Reverie. I recommend it. Great coat.
Awesome. I mean, it reminds me your story about visiting your home state. It reminds me of Meghan Markle visiting New York when it was like 80, 90 degrees. Really, looked like a heavy coat. I guess that's how you look like there.
Yeah, my family was like, "Aren't you burning up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But the coat was fabulous. I had to show the coat off. So anyway.
Of course. Well, this is something you can wear daily, matches everything.
Right.
You had a little more noticeable recommendations, meaning you would get really noticed out of the crowd. So tell us a little bit more about those.
Well, at Fashion Reverie, we try to push the fashion proverbial envelope. So we want to introduce people to things they would normally think about or normally wear, but introduce them to say, you know what, you might look good in this. Now, I included a Rick Owens bubble coat in this roundup. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of bubble coats. I don't really like them so much. I have one, but a bubble coat is a great coat if you're in really cold weather. And this coat will insulate you. You will not get cold. This coat also is kind of modeled on a parachute sleeping bag coat. We know who invented that, the famous Norma Kamali in the 70s. So Rick Owens, I believe, personally, I don't know for sure because I don't talk to him every day, but I think he modeled.
Not every day.
I think he modeled this coat on Norma Kamali's, sleeping bag and a parachute coat from the 70s. But this is a great coat. It will keep you warm. It has a bold orange color. And, this is where men's fashion is going now. We're coming out of the traditional to stuff that's more bold, more experimental, more avant-garde. Now, we know this coat is not as avant-garde as a lot of Rick Owens garments are. Rick Owens, a lot of his stuff, it's really kind of out there. But this is something that I think a lot of consumers would want to buy. The only drawback with this coat is the price. You need some deep pockets for this coat. It's a little over $1,400. But it's a great investment, so it's something you'd have in your wardrobe for a really long time.
I mean, to me, it looks a little bit unisex. I would wear it.
It is very unisex, yes.
Yeah. And what else do you suggest?
Well, there's another coat that I included because, as we know, and we will talk about it in the next segment, men's fashion is expanding. It is being a little bit more inclusive. It is looking at different silhouettes, a lot more color, really tapping into men expressing their masculinity the way they want to express it. So I had to include this coat by Sakai. This is a great coat that it's not exactly a bubble coat, but as you see, there's a lot of color, a lot of design on it, a lot of patchwork colors on it. It's for that guy that wants to make a statement. Again, you need some deep pockets for this coat. It's about $2,000 out of my price range right now, but we know one day I will be like this. But this is a great coat that will get you noticed. It has that kind of insulating material. I forget the name of it, but it is a great coat that will stand out, that will keep you warm. So it's for that guy that's saying, I'm going to test the waters. I'm going to be myself and wear what I want to wear. So that's why we included this coat.
It gives me a little bit of the 80s vibe.
It does. It's very good point, Tiana. Very 80s. Almost a little boy Georgie
Yeah, yes, I could see him wear it, and a few other people I know.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh my God. Well, great segments, great recommendations, William. I just wish we were talking about summer and bikinis, but it is what it is.
It
It's
is what it is. And when you go to the article, there are some other affordable coats in the article that are kind of household name brand coats. Like we do have a Banana Republic coat in there. We have a J. Crew coat in the article. But as I said, at Fashion Reverie, we want to introduce consumers to brands that they're not aware of. So now, I have this wonderful Bugatti coat on, and I know Tiana, we may see each other tonight at an event. We
oh,
may.
that's true. That's true.
And you
That
will
is
see this
true.
coat up close and personal because I'm gonna have this coat on.
All right. Well, stay warm until then.
So, as I said earlier, this episode is dedicated to men's fashion. And we talk about coats, we talk about watches, we talk about news and collaborations. But what's better than a men's fashion editorial? We'll talk about fashion. Now let's put all this style together. So I'm joined with our editor-in-chief, William Gooch, and of course my co-host Cicely and Tiana, and we're going to talk about Fashion Reverie's latest editorial, all about men and masculinity. So Gooch, welcome back.
Thank you. And you guys realize this is the first time I've been back since the beginning of the season because I was on
Oh,
season
okay.
one and I haven't. This
Oh.
is season. I was on episode 1, season 2, and now this is episode 5. So you guys have made
Yeah.
3 other videos without me, which
What else?
that's okay. Leave me out. I don't care.
You can come back next
Are
week
you
if you want
having
to.
FOMO?
That's right. All right.
But
So,
anyway,
Join
so
us anytime.
we have
Yeah.
this new menswear editorial that me and Carl worked on together. I art directed it, and I came up with the idea. And Carl did a brilliant job styling it. It's not yet
well, it wasn't
published,
just me. It wasn't just me. I was
and there were big
co-styled.
hair people. Yeah,
Yeah, but Ronnie Lee, it was my co-stylist for this photo shoot. I have to give
I'm
him
so sorry. I
props.
forgot.
No, it's fine. But I have to
Forgive
make
me,
mention of
Ronnie.
that because he's a great stylist in his own right, and he really helped sell this editorial through the roof. So thank you, Ronnie.
So, William, how did you come up with this menswear editorial?
Well, Carl, we talked about doing this kind of menswear editorial about 3 years ago, right?
Yes, like right before we were supposed to do it right before the pandemic.
Right. So I was really wanting this editorial to be about kind of the new way that a lot of men are expressing their fashion and how they feel about themselves through clothes, which is a much more expanded vision of masculinity. So what you're seeing is men wearing more bold colors, men embracing some silhouettes that were considered feminine at one time, and just a whole new way of embracing and defining themselves. Now, interestingly, right after I got the idea, GQ came out with that issue with Pharrell Williams on the cover, calling it the new masculinity. And I kept saying to myself, now, how did GQ get in my head and know what we were getting ready to do? They stole
That's right.
my idea.
They stole our idea.
But, all good ideas are tapped into by smart people. So that made me feel like I'm on trend. I'm smart because I had the idea. And they had. So
That's
we were
good.
really kind of had to put this on the back burner because with COVID, we couldn't do anything. There were no showrooms we could go to, no fashion shows. We could not.
No place to
tour,
shoot it.
No place to shoot it. No. So when we started coming out of the pandemic, we really tried to put a little bit more energy into trying to get this done. Getting a location was very difficult, but we finally found a great location, and I brought in Carl to do his wonderful job of styling with Ronnie, also who co-styled it. And see, I remember this time, Ronnie.
Yes.
And but it was a challenge because when we came back out of this pandemic, a lot of showrooms have not reopened. In fact, some have gone out of business. So Carl had a real challenge getting the kinds of clothing we wanted for this editorial. And for those who don't know, shooting an editorial is a huge process.
Yes.
You know, Carl comes up with a mood board so that we can see that me and him are on the same page with my idea, or whichever editor has the ideas on board with the stylist. We have to make sure that everybody has a contract. We have to get models. We have to get makeup and hair. Everybody has to be available at the same time. And this was also a special challenge because we had to make sure we had a very safe set. So everybody had to present their vaccination cards before we actually were, just a couple of days before we had the shoot. So we had to make sure that all the staff was fully vaccinated. So there were a lot of protocols in place, wearing masks, the whole thing, just to make this happen. And I'm very pleased with what came out of it.
Yes, we made sure to have a safe set. Yes, we followed all the COVID protocols to get this done. Finally got it done. So let's talk about the shoot itself. let's talk about. So you covered, how we came about it, but I want to talk about like the inspiration behind it, or what helped me and Ronnie style this editorial. So we wanted to revisit fashion, men's fashion, and look at how it's been reconstructed or reconstructed, because a lot of things that are now in fashion for men have been in fashion before, and then they went out of fashion, they went out of style. So when we talk about men and masculinity, we're talking about, I would say that masculinity is not about your attire, it's about your attitude. And so we look at things that were at once considered not masculine, like we worked with lace and pearls and a lot of bejeweled necklaces and a lot of accoutrement and decorations on the clothes,
and bold colors, Carl.
And bold colors, yes.
Right.
But those things from like the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s were not really considered masculine. But if you look back in history, they were masculine. If you look at heels, the first high heels were worn by Persian warriors to keep them in the stirrups on their horses. King Louis XIV had heels with red soles. You come to the 1970s, you had music groups like Grandmaster Flash, it's Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Sorry about that. You had
my era.
Yes, yeah. John, there's an episode of Soul Train with Johnny Williams. He has on this like almost duster length coat, and this duster length coat, these shorts, these high white boots.
Go-go boots.
Yes, guys in the 90s, 2000s are not wearing that.
Boots.
I think this like heels trend for men is making shorter men really happy.
Out there, all the Napoleons, definitely. So things like that. But even looking at modern artists and athletes, look at what is it? Elliott, Ezekiel Elliott from the Dallas Cowboys. He would always wear his crop shirts on the field. You look at race car driver Lewis Hamilton, who was at the Met Gala in a lace shirt designed by Kenneth Nicholson. You have music artists like we said, Pharrell. You have A$AP Rocky, who did another menswear article for GQ, where he had on like kilts and lace and pearls. Once again, stealing our idea, but it just shows that things that were masculine at one point became feminine or non-masculine, and they are coming back into the masculine realm. And so that's what we want to play on. And
you can't leave out, Carl, all the celebrities that we're seeing on the red carpet. Tiana, your lane, wearing bold colors, pink, magenta, lavender. You can't leave that out. That's a huge trend, right?
Yes. And
look at Carl. I mean, interject. Excuse me. Look at Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon has on some of the boldest suits I've never seen on his new talk show.
Shoes. Let's not forget about
shoes. Those shoes. Those Louboutins. Yes.
To me, that's the best thing about his talk show. Oops, did I say that?
No, but you did.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, I think Nick Cannon is now dressing less feminine than he used to, because if you remember, he used to wear turbans, kaftans,
That's right,
etc.
Tiana. You're right.
Now he's wearing really sharp fitted suits, but has
Yeah.
fun with color, print, and some cool sparkly shoes. Did I mention that?
So,
But tattoos make him a little more edgy, though.
they do. So let's look at some images from the editorial. Everyone, we want everybody to know the editorial has not been published yet. It should go up very soon. So these are some of the raw images from the editorial. So we're going to start with Carl. I don't know how you did it, but you came up with this incredible ensemble of a pink leather jacket with some. Well, you talk about it, Carl.
So actually, I think this was one of Ronnie's looks. It was
this is Ronnie.
Bomber,
Okay.
The pink bomber, the simple black T-shirt, black pants that had like pink fringe on the side, and a bedazzled belt, which almost reminds me of like a WWE wrestler. But we paired it with this wonderful over the size Dolce. That's not a Dolce watch. That's a Saint Laurent ring, I think. I think that's a YSL ring, and a pink beaded necklace. In one of the photos, he also has a black Telfar bag. So we want to play like you said again on the masculine and feminine. We want to go with the bold color, but we want to think of things that are not just typical like costuming. These are things that are going to make the wearer stand out in the crowd, but also he can still feel comfortable in it.
Now, me and Carl love this look, but what do you ladies think?
I love it. I think first of all, props to the styling. I feel like it's giving me like a sexy, like more contemporary Prince style. I kind like, do you know what I mean? Like take like Prince, but like put it in like a today. And I say that to say, like, I think one of the reasons he was so successful was because he embraced, I will say, the full range of fashion available, the full range of his voice. And I think like this is about like men embracing their full power. For anyone who, if you're feeling empowered and you're feeling like you're trying to make this statement, I feel like you're going to look like, if you were wearing this, you look amazing. So, and so I feel like hopefully that, the wearer is also feeling like empowered and like expressing themselves. So I think it's great. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah, for me, when I look at that image, it reminds me of like Harry Styles. That to me, that's a very Harry Styles. Mine is not well, because Harry Styles for editorials now wears dresses as well. But I think that was a very Harry Styles picture for me. What were you going to say, Tiana?
Well, we were talking about the pink jacket, right? So I like the pink jacket, but I'm more intrigued by the accessories because I like the combination of pearls and is that a fanny pack? Is that what he's wearing, or that's a belt?
Well, so that belted area, that is part of the pants. That's not an accessory. That's part of it. Yeah. So once again, it negates the need for other accessories because it's already built in. So when Coco Chanel would say, before you go out, take one thing off. Well, not with this outfit. It's all packed in together. But what I specifically loved about it,
blend in well. Yes.
Yeah.
It does. There's also another look that I really, really like. And it also has some little pearls incorporated, but it's more like of a metal one sleeve. Is it like cover?
Yeah, it's a one sleeve chainmail cropped chainmail shirt.
Who is this shirt by?
The shirt is like 5 pounds, all right, because it is
That's
real
why
metal.
he's laying down.
Well, Tiana, when we got ready to do this shoot, I immediately thought of you.
Yeah, why? Because I'm laying down a lot? I don't know.
No, because we know that you cover a lot of celebrity fashion, and when I went to the location to scout out the location for the shoot, when I saw the bathroom, I said, okay, we got to do a shot in the bathroom and we got to do it in the tub. So the inspiration behind this look was, you've been out all night, which I know you like to do, Tiana.
That's why it's reminded of me.
You just decide to chill in the tub in your fabulous outfit. And, you know, if the image can come back up again really quick, I want to show. He's in the tub. He has a white fur coat that he's laying on in the tub. He's having a drink. It's a very kind of, now remember, I had the idea. I didn't know how they were going to style it. So when Carl, is this your look?
This one is a combination of me and Rodney. Yeah.
Okay. When I saw the look, first thing I said was Lenny Kravitz. So what do you guys think?
Definitely gives me that Lenny Kravitz feel. But apparently also, Tiana, that's putting your business on blast. Maybe Tiana after her like last
I
week.
know. I lay out of a night out. After a night out, I always lay in my bathtub with a drink. You know, probably one sleeve off, another on. So. Yeah. Did someone share some blackmail photos with you?
No, I said you inspired. I didn't say you did it.
Well, I did like the edginess. It definitely gives me that like kind of like rock star vibes, and like, you know, like someone who like is just very cool. Like they're out and they're like, I am so cool today, you know.
Yeah. So styling this scene for me was a lot of fun because we have the candles in the backdrop. We have some shots we have him with the cigar, some shots we have him with the drink. We have there's some shots with him with the boots on or the boots in the tub with him. So funny story with this. Well, two things. Number one, for me styling this, it was inspired by two people, Lenny Kravitz and Tupac Shakur. There is a classic photo of Tupac in, I think, a blue bathroom in a white tub with just bubbles and gold chains. That was part of the inspiration for this, but also the model has this very Lenny Kravitz, Maxwell kind of rocker vibe. So I think it went well for that. But the funny thing is, styling for this particular look, Ronnie and I, we styled separately. We pulled clothes separately. We had ideas. We talked about what we wanted and what imagery, but we both wanted to pull that jacket, that coat rather. We did not speak to each other about going to this particular designer, but he got to the coat before I did. So when he, in our days leading up to the shoot, when we were going over the looks, he pulled out this coat. I was like, I tried to get this coat and I was told that it was gone. It was not available. And lo and behold, he's the one who had it. So, it all worked out. It all worked out.
So if we can talk about the last look that we're going to give a sneak peek to our viewers, which is the two guys on the couch.
Uh-huh.
Now, I love this shot. It's just two friends relaxing with beautiful white tops. One of the tops is lace embellished. One of the tops has a lot of silver embellishments on it. And of course, tons of Chanel-like pearls.
No, they weren't Chanel-like. They were Chanel.
I said Chanel-like.
They were not like. They were Chanel. Thank you. They were Chanel.
See, there you go.
All right.
With Chanel
they're
pearls,
Chanel pearls.
correction. So, okay, you ladies, what do you think?
What this reminded me of, and I'm going to say it's everywhere, is I'm calling it the Bridgerton effect. I say that to say, like,
yes.
that collar, like, does give you that, like, the white shirt with the collar, like, with the bejeweled collar. Yeah. Like, it does give you that kind of, like, very, like, classic, like, like, olden times feel, but obviously in a very contemporary shirt, which I think is why it's cool. And I also really love the lace shirt because that's such a contemporary lace, do you know what I mean? And so I feel like for a man who is trying to be fashion forward and to be like really, you know what I mean, like have like a very modern edge, I think those are both like really cool choices, and then having them paired with the jean I think is like still a nice contrast. So I enjoyed it because I think there's like a lot of freshness there.
I love pairing with the jeans. I love pairing it with the jeans because it kind of brought down the seriousness of the outfit. So the bejeweled collar is from Erickson Beeman, and that shirt is from Paul Smith. And that shirt, with the jeweled collar. There's a jeweled collar on top of the shirt. They're not together.
Mhm.
But I want to play with the concept of lace. Every lace is not, frilly chantilly lace. They are
Right.
thicker weaves, and I want to show that as well. That like I said, playing with all aspects and realms of masculinity and fashion and dress, and bringing it all into one room together. And then those blue jeans from Bonobos, it just kind of cooled it down. It's not so punched up and so serious. And then put with the white shoes in the fall and in the winter, that's a bold move, and that's a stylistic move. That is not, wearing boots for function. You're wearing those white boots for fashion. So I want to play around with all of that.
Mhm.
Last question. I want to ask Tiana and Cicely.
Uh-huh.
Which of these three looks that you saw would you put on your guy, or you would like to see a guy in?
I think my husband would do like the jeans. I think just like knowing his style or whatever. But you know what? He likes color. So who knows? I'm thinking, I have to think for a second. Go, Tiana.
I like the white shirt with the bejeweled collar. Without the long beads, though.
Without the
Okay.
beats.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I would have to see it on him. But for myself, I'm sticking to my bathtub look.
Oh, see, for herself. See? One thing,
Okay.
one thing I do always appreciate about my husband is he does really like embrace color. He's not one of those people that's like afraid of like any kind of pop of color. So I don't think he has I know he has like a purple jacket. He definitely has like a green one. I don't think he has a pink one yet. So I'm just saying I think that for everyone to embrace color, like when you embrace color, like it makes you like feel good and like gives you like a certain kind of energy depending on the color. So I also think that whether it was that jacket or like something like one of those stars we're wearing, like that color will be something that he would like to try. So I would like, and I think he looks cute with color. So
Well,
all right. Bashing over her husband here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a date tonight.
Yes, have date night. Well, we talked about three looks from this editorial. There are more looks to be seen. This editorial will be published right in time for Thanksgiving. So go to fashionreverie.com and check it out and let us know what you think. Well, viewers, that's it. Thank you for tuning in to this, our men's episode of Fashion Reverie Talks.
We would like to thank our editor-in-chief, William Gooch, for joining us.
And for more information on these and other stories, go to fashionreverie.com. Thanks you guys so much for watching. We'll see you the next time.